I'm sure you've been seeing this extended peplum dress on the left side of the screen trending for a while now. So I recreated this dress, as you can see, my own recreation at the middle part of the screen. So if this is what you're interested in, thank you for stopping by. And if you're just coming across my channel or my video for the first time, you're welcome. So in this video, I'll be teaching you how I recreated the dress from start to finish. So let's get right into it. So for this tutorial, I have this 6 yard of Ankara fabric, but I'll be making use of just about 4 yards. So this Ankara fabric is just a look-alike of the original fabric they use in making this style. So the original fabric they use in making that dress is Akwete. I don't know if I'm getting the pronunciation right. Akwete fabric. So I'm using an Ankara look-alike instead because that fabric is actually very expensive. So I'm making use of this zipper and lining as well. I'm lining only the upper part. So let's cut the front upper bodice. After folding your fabric into two like this, so this is me ruling the starting point, which is the shoulder line. Can you see it? So the next thing I want to do is to mark my half length. For me, my half length is 17 inches, but I added the extra 1 inch for allowance, making 18 inches. So I'm marking the 18 inches across, and then I'm going to connect it in a straight line. I just hope you are seeing these lines. Just follow what I'm saying verbally, you're going to get it. So on the shoulder line, I'm marking my shoulder measurement divided by 2. For me, is 8 inches. So for the neck width, I went in by 3 inches, and for the neck depth, I went down by 3.5 inches. So I'm just going to go ahead to draw my round neck. So this measurement depends on how deep you want your neckline to be. So on this part, I'm going to mark the sleeve because this dress is a cut together sleeve. So I'm adding extra 6 inches after the shoulder measurement. So I'm adding extra 6 inches. You know, measurement divided by 2 is 8 inches. That's what I'm showing you right now. So after that 8 inches, I marked extra 6 inches. So on that point, I came down by 1 inch. So that's going to be the shoulder slope. So I'm connecting that point to the neckline area in a slant manner. So that's the shoulder slope. Can you see the way I'm doing it? So this is a cut together sleeve. Just pay close attention. It's very easy. So after that, I want to mark my bust point. So for me, I'm using 10 inches. From the shoulder line, I came down by 10 inches. I should have marked this earlier, but that's not an issue. So this is me extending the lines. So that's my bust point. So remember that is the half length plus 1 inch. So on that bust point, I'm marking my bust measurement divided by 4. And then I added 1.5 inch for sewing allowance. So I measured everything I have there. It's 14 inches. So I'm marking that same 14 inches on the bust point line. So I'm ruling the line like this. So I did that to get a straight line for that sleeve area. So after that, let's move to the waistline. On the waist, I marked my waist measurement divided by 4. And then I added 1 inch for that allowance. And then 1.5 inch for the sewing allowance. So I'm just going to connect it to the bust point this way. So on that part, I'm just going to draw my armhole like this. Can you see the way I'm drawing the curve? So this is a cut together sleeve, don't forget. So for the dart, my bust span, that's my nipple to nipple divided by 2. I marked it on the waist. So from the bust point, I came down by 2 inches, and then I marked that same 4 inches. So this has been connecting it in a straight line. So on the waist, I went in and out by 0.5 inch, as you can see, and then I connected it in a slant manner upwards this way. So that is the dart. That's how you're going to go about your dart on both sides and also on the back as well. So let's go ahead and cut it out. So that's all for the cutting of the front upper bodies. So this is it. So this is what it looks like. Can you see the cut together sleeve? So for the back, I'm gonna have to fold my fabric into 2, and then I placed the front pattern on it. So let's do the alterations for the back. So for the neckline, I came down by 2 inches for the neck depth for the back. So I'm just going to go ahead and draw my round neck as well. So the back neckline is a bit higher than the front. So on the waistline for the back, I went in by 0.75 inch, and then I'm going to draw a slant line upwards this way. Can you see? So this is what I normally do to avoid zipper bulge. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut it out now. So that's basically all for the back pattern with the cut together sleeve. Don't forget to also cut out this part to avoid zipper bulge. So this is me splitting the back into two. So for the flay, that's the lower part of the dress, the flay. So fold your fabric into two this way. Can you see the way I folded it into two? Make sure you fold it long enough, depending on how long you want your dress to be. So fold it long enough. So after folding it into two, I also went ahead to fold it again in a triangular shape. Can you see the way I folded it in a triangular shape? So this is how you fold your flay for the lower part of your dress. So make sure it is equal. Can you see? Make sure it is very long enough. So here we need the waist measurement. So my waist measurement, I made use of 32 inches. So 32 inches plus 3 inches for the zipper allowance. That's 35 inches divided by 4. I'm dividing it by 4 because, as you can see, this is 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's why I divided it by 4. So I have 8.75 inches. So I'm just marking that 8.75 inches. So this is me marking it right there. So from that upper part, I measured what I have from the upper part to the point where I marked my 8.75. I had 12 inches. So I'm going to mark that 12 inches across. So I'm marking that 12 inches round. So just do it exactly how I'm doing it and you get the same result. So by the time I measure everything I have there, to still give me my 8.75 inches. So placing 17 inches on that marked place, because my half length is 17 inches. So I'm removing 17 inches from the full length of my dress. So here I have 51 inches. So I'm going to mark that 51 inches across, or you just simply minus your full length. For me it is 51 minus 17 inches, that's your half length, and then you just use that one instead of going through this long process that I'm going through. But for me, I'm just doing it sharp. I don't want to be calculating. So placing your tape rule at 17 inches, as you can see, 17 inches on the waist part, on the waistline. So you bring your tape rule down this way and marking 51 inches across, so to form a cycle, or let's say semicircle or half cycle. So this is it. I'm doing it all the way. If you don't want to do it this way, you can just simply minus your half length from the full length of your dress. So, and then you just use the actual value that you got, or you can also do it this way as well. So this is it. I'm just going to go ahead and cut it out now. So this is what it looks like. Can you see? So for the extended peplum that will be on the upper part of the dress, I'm going to have to cut out a long piece of fabric. It is 9.5 inches long. I want the actual length to be about 8 inches long. So for the back, I added extra 1.5 inch for the zipper allowance. On fold, as you can see, is on fold. So it means I added extra 3 inches. That's if it is not on fold. So this is for the front as well. It is 9.5 inches wide, and then the full length is about 42 inches on fold. So if it is not on fold, that means I have 84 inches in total if you open it up. So for the back, if it is not on fold, that means I have 87 inches long, including the 3 inches for zipper allowance. So let's pick our upper bodice. So let's pick the front first. Open it up this way to the right side, and then you place the lining on the right side like this. So we're going to go ahead to stitch the lining starting from the neck area like this. So we are not stitching the shoulder area, leave it open. So stitch the arm and then the side. So we're going to stitch it this way, the way I'm demonstrating. And after that, we're going to turn it to the right side. After turning it to the right side, we're going to go ahead to stitch the dart, just like I showed you when we were cutting. So after turning it to the right side, we'll stitch the dart. So for the back as well, you open it up to the right side this way, and then you place your lining on it on the right side. Can you see? So we're going to stitch the neck area. You stitch the sleeve, the zipper area, and the side we are not stitching the shoulder area just like we did for the front. So after that, to stitch that as well after turning it to the right side. So I'll head over to the machine and do that. So this is what it looks like. As you can see, I've turned it to the right side and I have stitched that, as you can see, both for the front and the back. So this is the back. So the next thing we want to do is to place the front and the back pieces together this way, right side facing right side, and then we're going to go ahead and stitch the shoulder. We join the shoulder and the side, making use of our 1.5 inches allowance on that side, and then on the shoulder you join with about ½ inch. So for this sleeve and armhole area, it depends on how wide you want your sleeve opening to be. So I'm just going to make use of that 1.5 inch allowance that I added on the side. So from the sleeve opening down to the side, I'm going to stitch with 1.5 inch allowance. So this is what it looks like after stitching, as you can see. So I don't want to notch this curved armhole area too much, because I want to be sure it is my size before I notch it too much. I only notch it a little bit, so you are going to notch it so it will relax properly. So as time goes on, we are going to do that. So for the extended peplum, I'm gonna have to stitch the end. So I folded it twice this way. So I stitched it, and I also stitched the side as well. So for the front and the back, I stitched the hem to make it neat. So this is what it looks like. So now we want to secure it. We want to join it to the waist of this upper bodice. So the first thing I want to do is to make sure it is equal like this, and then I'm going to notch the middle part. So the other part where I did not stitch is going to be the side that will be attached to the waist. So you open up your top this way, and then you notch the middle just like I have done. So you placed the two notched middle together this way. Can you see? Right side facing right side. Make sure it is right side facing right side, and place the two middle notched area together. So as you can see where I stopped on the side joining, from there you are going to stitch till you get to the other side joining. So that will be just for the front. Can you see the way I'm doing it? Make sure it is the extended peplum that you cut for the front that you are using. Don't mistake the back for it. So this is it after stitching it. Can you see the way I stitched it with about 0.75 inch allowance is what I used to stitch it. Can you see? So now the next thing you want to do is to stitch the back as well. So you pick the other long piece of fabric for the back, you make sure it is equal like this, and then you cut it into two. So you make sure you cut it into two equal parts. So that is what I'm doing. So this is it. So you pick the first one, and then you put the rough side, the side that was not stitched. Can you see? You put it on from the back, from the zipper area. You stitch it down to the side this way. Just follow what I'm demonstrating exactly. So can you see the way I did it? So that's how we are going to stitch the back. So by the time you stitch it, the two extended peplum will be equal. So you pick the second one as well. You place it, can you see, right side facing right side. The rough part, the rough edge that was not stitched, you stitch it all the way to the side. Can you see how it is looking? So I'm going to do that now. So this is what it looks like after stitching it. Can you see? Can you see both sides? So just keep following what I'm doing. It's very easy. It is not complicated at all. So we want to stitch this side where I'm touching the upper part of the extended peplum. So this is how you're going to fold it. Can you see the way I'm folding it? So you fold it, or you start from the end and fold it twice and stitch on it. I didn't know my camera was not capturing what I'm doing, but this is it. Just fold it twice like this, and you stitch on it all the way to the side, to where that side ends or started from. So for the second one as well, can you see the way I'm folding it? You can fold it from there all the way. You can start folding from the side downward, or you can start folding from the hem upwards to the side. So this is what it looks like after folding it twice and stitching on it to secure that place, to make it neat. Can you see the way it looks like? I just hope you are seeing it clearly. So this is it. I also have this tutorial on my channel. You can go ahead, how I made this kind of top. But that time it was not a dress, it was just a top. I've done this before on my channel. You can just go ahead and check it out. You can browse through my channel and check it out and just go through it for more knowledge. Or you can just check the comment section. I'm going to pin the link to the video of how to make an extended peplum top. So for more knowledge. So open up the waist area like this. So we want to join the flay to the waist as well. So you open up your flay like this. So notch the middle. I've notched the middle of my flay. Place it on the other notched middle of your upper bodice as well. So you place it right side facing right side. Don't forget. So we're going to stitch, just going to join it in a straight line. And you can just pleat the excess. Initially, I didn't want any pleating of the excess, but so can you see where I'm opening up this first flay? So I opened it up. I don't want to stitch it on that extended peplum. I'm stitching it on the actual upper bodice. Can you see the way I'm doing it? So any excess on the for the flay, I'm just going to pleat it randomly. Can you see the way I'm demonstrating? That's how I'm going to stitch. See the way I'm pleating the excess. And if you don't want any pleating on yours, you can just go ahead and join it straight in a straight line and maybe cut out the excess if you want. So I'll head over to the machine now and do that I have demonstrated. So this is it after joining it. Can you see? I pleated all the excesses. I distributed it evenly. Like I didn't just pleat it anyhow. Make sure you distribute the pleats evenly on both sides. So this is it. Can you see the way it's looking? So this is the one that I opened up. Can you see? Our dress is coming together already. So now the next thing we want to do is to close the back. So you place the back together this way, right side facing right side. Make sure it is equal. And most importantly, make sure extended peplum, make sure it is equal. Can you see? We want to make sure it is very equal with the flay. So this is why I'm using my hand to hold it together. So the next thing is to pick your zipper and place it like this. So we want to mark where the zipper will stop. So I'm just going to go up about 1 inch from the full length of the zipper and mark it this way. So after that, this is me using my pin to hold that upper part. So make sure you use your pins to hold it so you don't make mistakes. So from that marked part, I'm going to stitch all the way down with my 1.5-inch zipper allowance. So I'm going to stitch with 1.5-inch all the way down. So after that, I'm going to install my zipper. I'm going to stitch my zipper on the zipper area. So I'm going to head over to the machine now and do that. So this is the dress after putting the zipper and closing the back, as you can see. So all the rough edges you can weave it. So this is what it looks like. Can you see that our dress is coming together already? So now for the hem of our dress. So some people can just decide to fold it twice and stitch like this. But I'm going to be making use of my bias to save me stress and time. So I'm just going to place my bias on the right side. Can you see where I placed it? And you stitch on that part where I'm holding. You stitch all the way round till you get to that point again. So after that, you now fold it inside to the wrong side. After folding it inside, then you now run a stitch on it again. So most people know how to install or use the bias already. I'm just explaining because of beginners and those that doesn't know how to use it. So this is it after I've done that. Can you see it is neat already to save you the stress of trying to fold your flay, because it's not easy to fold a flay. Some can just sometimes I opt for weaving the M, the tight weaving, the tight outer weaving. But this time I'm using bias. So that's all for the hem. So the next thing you want to do is to give it a good press, and don't forget, notch the armhole area, the curved area, so the armhole and bust area can relax. So thank you so much for watching to the end, guys. See you all in my next tutorial. Bye.